And welcome back to Hall of Toys. I am Brant Fowler.
And I'm Chris Ventura.
And this is episode 15 of Hall of Toys. I know you've been waiting for it for a long time. Chris wanted to have 15 before the end of the year, but this is a good way to kick off the year, I think. The 15th episode, right?
Right.
Being the 15th episode, we decided to do something special, so we're going to have an all-toy edition of Hall of Toys, which kind of makes sense. So no gaming talk on this particular episode, but we do have a special guest with us, Mr. Dan Sehn. Hey, Dan, how you doing?
Going okay. Now that we have my mic working. Is my mic working right now?
Yeah, it's working fine.
Working great.
Maybe I should do a little test of my mic. Finally, Argo Comics has come back to comic related.
There you go.
Yep, it works.
Very cool. Fellow wrestling fan. Love it. So,
I'll get into wrestling figures.
Oh, yeah. Works for me. Chris will be like,
I'm happy. No, I'm happy the New Age Outlaws are actually back on Raw.
Oh, you didn't know?
Oh, you didn't know?
I like how they have to change their wording now that everything's politically correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like, you're gonna call someone.
We're gonna have to call somebody. No.
Yeah, you can tell the little cut in that audio clip. That's funny. They're actually the tag champs now. That's crazy. Anyway, getting off topic. So, Chris,
yeah.
how we want to start things off here, man?
You go ahead and make your pick, and we can start up however you want. Last time I started, I believe, so it's your turn.
I try to throw you a ball, and you just toss it back. What's the matter, man? Stop eating your ice cream. We're doing a podcast.
It's not ice cream anymore. It's water. I'm trying to slurp it. I'm like, go ahead.
Oh, shoot. So, it's the beginning of the year. Obviously, there's going to be tons of toys coming out this year. Is there anything you guys have heard about that you're just really looking forward to this year? Dan, we'll start with you.
Well, I like that they finally got the Adam West, figures and toys out.
Yeah.
The Hot Toys line looks pretty good with that. So I am looking forward to that.
Cool.
I have gotten the regular, 6-inch action figures. Got the Batmobile for that, the villains. So, I was lucky enough to be in the Toys R Us when they had that diorama of Batman and Robin going up the wall because apparently Robin wasn't released as a single figure. So unless you, came across one of those dioramas where they're going up the wall, supposedly, you're not going to get Robin. And from what I hear, the deal is done and they've already stopped production on that line. So that's the only way to get Robin.
I heard there was going to be a series 2 with Robin. I think I saw Robin single.
Yeah, well, my sources are at the comic store, so you can't really trust them.
Yeah.
That's cool. They're amazing looking figures, though. I mean, they're very lifelike in the depiction, I think. So
there's a lot of articulation with them also, so there's a lot of ways you can make them look like.
Right. Yeah, I'm actually looking at the Hot Toys website now. It comes with a bat repellent. I mean, the shark repellent? Different hands and stuff. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that Mattel, or Hot Wheels rather, had put out a Batmobile with Batman and Robin in it. I was at a comic store over in Staten Island, came across that, and had not, seen it released. So, I had to pick that up.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Absolutely.
And we'll get into your collection a little bit later, because I want to hear about it. Chris, anything you're really looking forward to this year?
Crime Syndicate. Oh,
yeah.
Every month there's going to be another figure until you get the complete set. I'm I'm worried because they aren't showing us Grid yet, and I just get that deep down feeling it's going to be like the Justice League where all the figures are $25 and then here's Darkseid, $90. I have this bad feeling that Grid is going to be like $60. I don't know why, but something's just telling me it's going to be like $60 figure or something.
I like the Johnny Quick one. I'm looking forward to that one. That's my favorite one of those.
I think Ultraman. Well, obviously Ultraman's my favorite, but
of course.
There's a bunch of other figures I'm sure that are gonna pop out of nowhere, and I'm gonna grab them when they first come out. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did I do any of that yet? I'm trying to think. Oh, the Superboy pop vinyl. Yeah, there you go. That's an example.
Isn't Toy Fair this month?
Yes, it is. It's what day is today?
Today
is
the first as we're recording this.
As we're recording this, it's the in 3 weeks. I believe it's the 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th, or 16th, 17th, and 18th in February.
Gotcha.
All the new stuff is going to be announced there.
Nice. And that's in New York, right?
Yep, it's going to be in the Javits Center, just like New York Comic Con.
Right. Dan, do you ever go to Toy Fair?
No, I haven't been to that one. I believe that's like a dealer-only thing, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Some areas are for dealers only, like for people who are going to sell it, but there are some for press also.
Ah, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, of course I've been a publisher of a comic series, so, you know, I haven't really delved into press before my involvement with Comic Frontline, so.
Well, now, yeah. Well, with Comic Frontline, I mean, if you wanted to go, I mean, I'm sure you would be able to. I think the press is done for it though by now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't need me. They don't need me smashing all their glass cases.
That's like a kid in a candy store.
It was hard enough at your Comic Con.
I'm sure. I remember all those pictures you were taking of the figures. We posted them up on Comic Related. And, they had a lot of figures there.
Yeah. Dan, you went walking around New York Comic Con, right?
Yeah, I did get a chance to do that a little bit. You know, I do look at the toy prototypes and stuff like that they, you know, what they have coming up. Sometimes, you know, I try not to linger around too much. A lot of times they end up looking a bit different, and, you know, I don't want to be, like, pumped up for something and then disappointed when it hits. So,
yeah, very true. Post-production, sometimes
I'm sure both of you spend a lot of time at the Superman stuff, though.
The Superman display was beautiful.
I would have loved to see that in person.
It takes your breath away.
I'm sure.
Especially the Reeves. The Reeves suit, that just, you stand there and you can stare at that thing for hours knowing that was the Superman's suit.
Of course, Dan's like, I got Superman in my house.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, I had actually, before I got that life-size Superman, I had bought, like, a George Reeves costume, because I was going to get a mannequin. I even have a guy was doing, like, life masks, where I guess different actors had gotten their faces molded in plaster, and I convinced the guy to do a full head from the life mask, you know, the casting of George Reeves' face.
Wow.
So, you know, yeah, now I have a ceramic George Reeves head on a pole with nothing to do with it. Because every mannequin wasn't built correctly for this, you know, so none of them fit the costume well. None of them had the right physique. You know, I was hoping that I can get kind of like the fist on the hips and, you know, get the whole thing just, you know, kind of like a custom George Reeves, but, you know, I eventually abandoned it and just, you know, got a life-size Superman. So at some point or another, probably that George Reeves head will, you know, end up on eBay. I do a lot of buying, but I haven't done a lot of selling, but that's one of the things that, like, you know, sitting in the closet, like, what are you going to do with a George Reeves head,
Right.
Halloween time, I could think of a few things, but after that, I'm sorry, I have no idea.
Well, you'd have to be like the man with two heads, and you'd have the George Reeves head on your shoulder there,
Yeah. You know what? Another, speaking of Superman, and it's an awesome celebration. I see pictures every year, and Dan, I don't know if you know about this. I found out about this way back when Smallville first went on the air. There's a small town in Illinois called Metropolis, and every June they have a Superman celebration. And as a matter of fact, this town adapts Superman into their everyday life so much. Their police officers wear Superman shields as badges. I don't know if that changed. Now, this is years ago. They have a Superman museum dedicated to props and costumes and everything from all over the Superman mythos. They have a Superman statue in their town square. Barack Obama, I believe, was there. Don't let that deter you from going to see the statue. And they have such an amazing celebration. Michael Rosenbaum actually was there a few times throughout Smallville's career, signing autographs and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, I did have an artist telling me about that. For the most part, when I do the conventions, I'm selling the comics from, that I publish as Argo Comics. And, I guess if you're just like one of those, guys selling prints all over the place, you just bring your Superman prints and then you go to town. But, I didn't, not being one to really, I've done a couple Superman prints now, but for the most part, I haven't been a big print guy, so, but I did hear about it.
Well, it's a nice celebration just to go and have fun also, as a Superman fan, period.
That's great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they actually have I'm looking at pictures online, they actually have a big billboard that says, they welcome you to Metropolis, home of Superman, and it has a picture of Superman on it.
Yeah, they take Superman to heart. This town was named They really adapted. They are so, pardon my word here, they're so anal with their Superman. He has to look almost identical to Superman in order to be the Superman for the celebration. It's not even funny.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we're not talking about Henry Cavill. We're talking about Superman from the comics. Superman.
Right, yeah.
So.
Spit curl and everything, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll check on that George Reeves outfit and see if they'll, kick in my airfare.
There you go.
Yeah.
Worth a shot. If you do, you gotta take pictures.
Yeah, getting a little older, I have to dress up as Kingdom Come Superman now.
That worked too. All right, so Chris, you have a bunch of links of toys you sent us that we were going to talk about. You want to dive into that?
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
I could jump into the stuff that actually, I'll jump into two things really quickly. Both are exclusives to different stores. I have the pleasure of having both of these in my collection as of this week. Toys R Us. It is a 31-inch 501st Legion Clone Trooper. It is a Toys R Us exclusive. It is a Clone Trooper with blue armor. It's basically 2.5 feet. And the articulation is basically there is none. You can move the arms up and down. You can turn the head 360 degrees, and you can pull the legs up and down. It's like your standard old school kind of figure where there wasn't a bunch of articulation, but it's 2.5 feet.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
That's kind of standard articulation for Star Wars figures in general, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, yeah. So it's basic standard articulation. Dan, I know you went to Toys R Us and you took a couple of pictures of them. You saw them there.
Yeah, I was at another Toys R Us today, and they also had the Darth Vader one.
Yeah, the Darth Vader one was interesting, but I'm not too much of a fan of having a 2.5-foot Sith Lord.
I think that would have scared Cindy a little bit more than.
Now you said that. Now I might have to buy it. Brad, my money.
That's what I'm here for. Make you spend more money.
I'm ignoring you and going to the Target exclusive, which is the same figure. It's a clone shock trooper, and it's opposite colored. It's red, It's colored in different spots. I can't verbally I can't explain it as well as if you guys see a picture. So I'm sure Brant will take the two pictures and put them side by side underneath the
on the show notes. Yeah.
Show notes. Thank you. That was what I was trying to get the words. But it's the exact same figure, only in a different paint job. It is $39.99, the Toys R Us exclusive, and right now on Target there's a sale. It's $20 from Target, and that's also 2.5 feet.
Gotcha.
Nice little statues. I'm actually working on fixing up my apartment right now, so 2-to-1, these two are going to be staples somewhere around the apartment. Cindy did mention, right now I have them facing each other on opposite ends of the room. Mm-hmm. She's like, I'm tempted to get a camera and do some stop animation.
Nice.
So, they're really good figures.
You've got to, at least at one point, have them in the background of one of your videos.
I might take the red one Michael got, so if anything, I'll probably take the blue. I love the blue Stormtrooper. I'll probably have that somewhere in my background at some point.
Cool.
So you'll be seeing it. Don't worry. There's going to be full reviews of both figures on Comic Frontline at some point. After launch day, which is February 11, 2014.
Exactly.
We'll talk about this later on again.
Right.
Everybody in this podcast is part of Comic Frontline.
And comic related.
And comic related. But Comic Frontline is part of Comic Related, too, so technically anybody who's part of Comic Frontline is part of Comic Related.
That's true, yes.
So then why do you have to bring that up, then?
I'm just pointing it out.
One day, Brant's going to make a logo that says Comic Frontline Related. Or the Related Comic Frontline.
No.
On the front line of the Related comic.
So toys.
Toys!
Good Lord. I'm really liking this the Marvel Select Amazing Spider-Man 2 Spider-Man from Diamond Select. How big is this one? 7 inches?
7 inches.
Okay. Yeah, that's a nice looking figure. A lot of articulation there.
Mm-hmm. And it also has the webbing and the fireman helmet.
Yeah, that's weird. But okay.
That's what I was saying. I'm surprised but it's probably something from the movie that we didn't see yet.
Maybe, yeah. I guess. I just like the figure, so it's not too bad a price either. What, $25 as list price?
Yeah. Most Marvel Select figures start at $25. It's rare that they go beyond that.
Right.
If any other website charges more, get off that website.
I'm actually tempted to get this one. Yeah, go ahead, Dan. Sorry.
I was going to say the Marvel Legends are practically at that. Because today, again, when I went to Toys R Us, I saw one of the, superior foes of Spider-Man. I don't know. It's a new Marvel Select Spider-Man series. Mm-hmm. Forget what it's called. But it has all the villains or whatever. It's the Build a Green Goblin series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The Marvel Legends Amazing Spider-Man 2 Build a Green Goblin figure.
Yeah. So, and I mean, I price checked that thing, and it was $22.99, whatever, $23, and I'm just like, it's like the Beetle, but it's not kind of a Beetle that I really need, and I'm saying to myself, what am I going to try to dig up all the rest of these and try to build a Green Goblin that doesn't really look like the dude on the little glider or whatever? And
yeah.
It's the ultimate Green Goblin.
Yeah, ultimately I didn't need it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I just had to I probably walked back and forth toward the register a few times, but all in all, I said, don't really need it.
Yeah.
For that price, if you're gonna build this Green Goblin, now you're talking like $125, I guess.
Mm. Yeah, that's the thing with stuff that comes with like the Build-A-Figure and stuff. You feel like you have to get them all if you start. So.
No, I still didn't finish my
Well, I didn't say you do get them all. I said you feel like you kind of need
them. Yeah, I do still feel like you're right.
That's it. I do.
Well, you want them all, but
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like the Boomerang figure in that series.
Yeah. If you saw the back, Dan, they're chase figures. They're releasing them as a second wave. Like Black Cat, there's
Piranha.
Yeah, and then for Beetle, it's Boomerang. Carnage is Toxin. I think that's it. I think it's just those three.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. But, I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, to get it at a toy store, like Toys R Us or whatever, you already got some guy who's there during, opening hours.
Right.
Yep.
Sprinting there because, he's probably on disability or something, has no job, and he's made it his job to go to Toys R Us and grab action figures and put them up on eBay.
Yep.
So,
I had an uncle that used to do that with Hot Wheels. He would go to Walmart every morning and get the new shipment as soon as it came in.
And that takes away from who? The children. I'm sorry.
No, it does, yeah.
I think it's unfair for the kids. I mean, you want to buy one. There should be, online, when there's a shortage, and they know there's going to be a shortage, they always say limited, one per customer. How hard is it for Toys R Us to do the same thing with the Marvel Legends line? I mean, they got to know that they're only buying it to sell it for more money on eBay. There are still kids that do like figures. I mean, there's not that many because they don't have a chance at them, but the ones that do actually have a chance, they want to play with them.
Yeah. I mean, they do the same thing with game systems. They limit those because, the same thing happens. People go on launch day and buy a bunch of them.
Well, Dan, you heard what we talked about in the last show about Hasbro upping the price for the Marvel Legend figures. They upped it another $5. That's why they're $25 now.
Yeah, it's completely out of control. Having like hundreds and hundreds of figures already, and the characters done more in the classic way, it's a lot easier. They're almost making it easier for me to save some money.
Yeah. That's how I feel, because if it's not a figure that's really worth it, like Beetle, that's the one figure in that entire line I could never see myself buying.
Yeah.
Ever.
I agree. I wasn't even sure.
I guess someone else.
Yeah. I wasn't even sure who that was, and I was like, that's not Beetle, is it? That doesn't look like Beetle. But, yeah.
Beetle after he raided Tony Stark's place.
I guess.
Yeah.
It sure doesn't look like the Beetle in the Superior Spider-Foes comic. So.
No, because it's a different character. I think the Beetle that the figure is depicted of is a previous Beetle. Who is
Mach 4 or whatever his name is now. That guy, probably.
Sure, let's go with that.
Okay.
Why not? We're here to speculate.
Sounds good to me.
Exactly. Oh, another thing, and this is a perfect segue from... Segue! Brant, you were just talking about the Marvel Select Spider-Man. Did we talk about the Superior Spider-Man on the last show?
No.
I don't think we did.
I don't think so.
No. If you guys check out the Disney shop on DisneyStore.com, there are 2 exclusives on there. One is the Winter Soldier, obviously, because of Captain America Winter Soldier.
Sure.
But it's the comic line Winter Soldier, not the movie one.
Right.
And also, for those of you Superior Spider-Man fans, there is an exclusive Superior Spider-Man figure. And when I say exclusive, I mean by this time next year, you ain't going to find those figures anywhere but on eBay, and they're going to be like $70, $80 like the Flash Thompson Venom figure. So buy it now or forever hold your peace. It's a beautiful figure, though. There is a review on Comic Frontline of it.
Mm-hmm. Nice review, too, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I love that figure. I want that figure. It's a really nice one. Did you get to see his review, Dan?
Yes, I saw the review, and it does. As figures go, it looks pretty good. If I wasn't so against, Dr. Octopus Spider-Man, then I would probably be looking into it. But
right.
Only reason I bought it, I agree with you, Dan, 100%. Only reason why I bought it is because of the announcement that Peter Parker's coming back. Only reason why I bought it, or else I would not have bought it.
Yeah, and then at that point you can bury it in the backyard, put a little gravestone, say, "So long, Doc Ock Spider-Man. Nice knowing you."
So we all know what comic Dan's going to be buying when Amazing Spider-Man #1 comes out.
See, but the book still has to be good when he comes back because
Right.
I'm not going to be suckered. I'm not going to be suckered into them saying, okay, now we held Peter Parker away from you. Now we're giving him to you. If they don't have a good artist, good writer, which they do, Humberto Ramos, I'm down for that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like the Adventure of Superman, and I agree with you, Chris, that is the only book with the real Superman. But if they're going to tell some bad story or give me some bad artist, I have hundreds of Superman comics to read, so I'll go back to those. I'll start with Superman Chronicles. I'll go back.
Oh, those books. I love those books.
Yeah, so I have other stuff to read. They got to get me something good.
Yeah, I don't know if you know, Dan, but in April, the New 52 Superman's moving into Adventures.
Okay.
At least for one book.
Again, they saved me some money.
I'm hoping that it's just for one issue. I think it's just for one story, maybe. I hope. God, please.
You hope, but, we see what they're doing with the animation. So
we're not going to talk about the movie.
No.
Don't.
There is a dual review by Chris and I up on Comic Frontline if you want to go see our thoughts on Justice League War.
Oh, I was talking about the Man of Steel sequel.
Oh, no, I'm not even going to talk about that here, no. That'll take over the whole show, and this is a toy show, so we won't do that.
And there are 2 Superman fanatics in this one now, so...
Exactly, that's my point, so...
Yeah. Dan, did you get a chance to see Justice League War?
No, I didn't see that one yet.
Good, don't watch it. You're going to get mad. You'll get mad! You'll break your TV.
As a Superman fan, you probably will, but it was okay. It was decent. Anyway.
Even if you weren't a DC fan. Brant!
I've been a DC fan for the past few years since Identity Crisis, so... Yeah.
Identity Crisis, I remember the good old days.
Yeah. But speaking of Spider-Man, this J. Scott Campbell Spider-Man collection Mary Jane statue, I love this statue. I'd never buy it because it's like $250, but it's a very nice statue.
She's in the impossible pose.
True, but...
That's okay, I have the impossible pose cover on my wall.
I love J. Scott Campbell's art, so...
Now, I do have the Adam Hughes one where she's like washing Peter's shirt. So I don't know if that does my quota of Mary Jane Spider-Man shirts statues. Adam Hughes designed a few of them, like She-Hulk busting out of her lawyer get-up, and you had the Mary Jane. He had a couple others, and those are really nice statues.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Adam Hughes and J. Scott Campbell, they're two, they're known for their female covers. So.
Mm. J. Scott Campbell's very popular right now in Xenoscope. He does really good ones for them.
Yeah, he has been for a while. Yeah. When I was doing Haven, he did we used one of his covers of Snow White for the catalog cover.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I was just looking on eBay, and I saw that someone had gotten, I guess, one of the new J. Scott Campbell fairy tale calendars.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently he ripped out each page and was selling each page.
Wow.
Wow.
Were they selling?
I don't know. I think they were pretty much newly listed because I just saw them, in my saved searches today. And I'm like, this guy's got to be kidding me,
Yeah.
Gotta love eBay.
Yeah.
It's like the people who break down the action figures, and they'll sell you a glove here and a boot there, and you see in the guy's auctions, he has all the pieces.
Yeah.
It's just, who knows?
That's weird. Yeah. I just looked up that statue you were talking about, Dan, the Adam Hughes, Mary Jane one. That's a nice one, too, yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, he designed a few of them. He did a, what's it called? Jean Grey as a Black Queen, I guess.
Oh, yeah,
I remember that one.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a great one. He did like a Rogue. I didn't get that one. She's like taking off her glove, it's like stretching to be like 2 feet or something. It looked good, just, didn't make me need to get it.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, Rogue is one of those characters I would say, it needs to be something a little bit more than that.
Yeah, and then they started using different artists. I know Mark Brooks did one with Scarlet Witch, where she has a little vision robot she's remote controlling.
Mm-hmm.
And I got that one. That was very well done. They just had a Spider-Woman, same like format. It's a bit, taller than most statues. Premium, I think they call it. Forget the company actually, but they did a Spider-Woman, and you can buy like a deluxe edition that has like a scroll head if you want it. I just got one, yeah. But very nice, very nicely done.
Awesome.
And as I hear Brant type to find to look it up.
I love Spider-Woman. I don't know if it's the costume or just the character in general. It's
the costume.
I guess. I don't know.
I'm the same way. I kind of went on a binge with Spider-Woman because I bought that statue, and then I was at a comic store that had a sale. I ended up getting a Spider-Woman statue where she's like sitting on like one of those gargoyles at the edge of the corner of a building or something, and that's another nice statue.
Awesome.
I love statues. It's just the prices don't really work with me. They don't want to work with me. The best statue I got was the mini Jim Lee statue of Superman standing on the edge of the building. There's no way I could ever afford the life-size one. The mini one is the closest I could get to getting that.
Yeah, sadly, I don't have any statues, so I'm not as. I mean, I would like to be, but I'm not as big a collector as you guys. So maybe one day I'll be able to show off a collection.
One day when we're rich and famous.
Exactly. There you go.
And Holotoys is all over the world on radio stations everywhere. Everybody who listens to this podcast, you're to go and share it to every single radio station you know. Tell them Brant sent you.
That's cool. If we start getting offers, I won't mind that at all.
If we start getting offers, start saying I sent you.
Was that like a hypnotic message?
If it works, yes.
Yeah. If not, it's the ramblings of a madman.
What are we going to do tonight, Brent? Same thing we do every night. Chris, try to take over the world.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, the best cartoon in the world.
I'm going to have that song stuck in my head. Bring, bring, bring. Yeah. All right, so any other figures that I know? What am I asking? There's still a list. What about these? The Superman figure. I know Dan bought it, and
yes.
Okay, talk about that.
I liked it. I don't know. It just was like an impulse buy. It's a new 52 Superman who I'm against. I already bought him in that Justice League 7-pack or whatever. That somehow it doesn't have Martian Manhunter and somehow has Cyborg is on the Teen Titans. Okay, I can start complaining about New 52 for like an hour, but anyway. Yeah, I bought the figure. I don't know, I like the packaging or whatever, the action comics art on the background. What are you going to do?
Is this the DC Total Heroes by Mattel? Is that the one?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Cool.
You didn't get the Batman one, Dan?
Yeah.
You just got Superman?
This Superman was the only one that they had out there. And even the lettering is like the traditional old school like Superman logo lettering. I don't know, something about it I liked.
Yeah, it's not as overly New 52 as some of the other figures. I mean,
it's more of a figure kind of. It's got that nicer appeal to it.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely has the same costume, but it's almost acceptable the way it looks.
The reason I have Batman here is because that's the one I saw at my Toys R Us. They only have Batman, and I think they have one Flash left, but it was ripped open. Mm. That's the one I would have bought. But, so I added Batman as well.
I like the Batman one too.
I was just gonna say the Batman reminds me of the animated series one a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I can see that.
Yeah, his physique is a little off. I mean, you know, you can see that he doesn't work out his legs much.
Right.
Yep.
Little
That's
imbalance.
the problem with some of the.
Go ahead, Dan. Sorry.
No, I was just saying that's the problem with some of the figures.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Their workout regimen is not well balanced.
Yeah.
So, another thing I wanted to mention that I got that I don't have on the list here is I finally got the Dragon Morpher.
Okay,
and
cool.
It's awesome. For those of you that didn't know, and I didn't know this until I got the Dragon Morpher, apparently the original Legacy Morphers went through 2 other versions. The version I have is version 1. Version 2, there was something updated about the lights, and then there's a current version, version 3. Version 3, you don't have to hold the button down on the Morpher for the song to play. You just have to hold it down long enough for the song to start, and then you let go and the song will continue. That's the same thing with the Dragon Morpher. You hold it down till the music starts, and then you can let it go, and the music will keep going. The regular 5-coin Legacy Morpher I have is a version 1, not a Virgin 1, not a cell phone. And you have to actually keep the button held down in order for the song to fully play. So, but
gotcha.
the Gold Morpher is awesome. It's amazing. I made this joke to one of my coworkers today. I said, when I was a kid and I was 7 years old and the Power Rangers came on the air, I wanted the Green Ranger Morpher and coin so bad, and they brought out the toys. They had tons and hundreds of toys, and none of them had the Green Ranger Power Coin. That's the one thing I wanted. I didn't even care. I would have stuck it in my Silver Morpher. It only took 20 years, and I finally got my hands on one. 20 years.
Was it worth the wait? That's the point.
Absolutely,
Okay.
but still 20 years.
Shoot. That's all right though. You got it. So.
Yeah, I got it.
And speaking of Power Rangers, Chris and I were talking about this before the show. We couldn't remember if we mentioned this on the last episode, but SH Figure Arts is finally coming out with the final Ranger, the Yellow Ranger. So.
See, Brant, you finally got your Yellow Ranger.
Yes, I've been waiting. I've been clamoring for that.
I know Trini was your favorite, huh?
Oh yeah, of course. Big Power Rangers fan that I am. I can't even say that with a straight face.
You're huge Power Ranger fan.
Mm-hmm. My little brother was.
Dan, you a fan of the Power Rangers at all?
No. Back in my day, we had a guy named Gigantor. He was a big robot as well. Maybe Frankenstein Jr., but yeah, beyond that, nah. I didn't make it into the Power Rangers age bracket.
Gotcha.
No, I watched a little of it. You got Amy Jo Johnson on that thing. Maybe I gotta watch it a little bit.
Of course, totally.
I actually recently, in the past couple of years, got found the Japanese counterpart, the originals, like the original Power Rangers. And they're not even called the Power Rangers; they're called Super Sentai. Man, they were so much better. What the heck did America do?
What they do with every carryover.
It threw teenagers into it. And then Jason David Frank got his career.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about him right now.
As the room goes silent. Okay, fine. Move on then.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but did the Japanese version have that heavy guy and his dopey companion?
Oh, yes, they did.
Yeah. There you go.
See, Dan knows more about it than I do.
Didn't Bulk make it through more seasons than any of those other kids?
Yeah, Bulk and Skull made it through almost all the original, the first story arc from Power Rangers, the Mighty Morphin, all the way through until Lost in Space. They made the most cameos, the most appearances. Yeah.
So they're the real stars of the whole thing.
Basically, they went from being school bullies to police officers, and I think that's it. They stayed as police officers for the rest of the series. That was ironic that they became police officers, though.
It's like Zach and Screech from Saved by the Bell. They were the real stars.
I was going to say Mr. Belding because he jumped into the new class.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, so does Screech as his assistant. You're right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Screech was in every single episode of Saved by the Bell ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's dedication for you.
And then he had a breakdown, and well, we won't get into all that. But
I saw him on Celebrity Boxing, and he beat up Horshack pretty bad.
Really?
Wow.
Yep.
Welcome back, Todd.
The two nerds from different generations,
That's hilarious.
Welcome back, Cotter. I like Welcome Back, Cotter. That was a fun show.
I'm gonna have to look that up online. See if I can find that.
You've never watched.
No. I mean the celebrity boxing thing.
Oh, okay. I thought you never watched Welcome Back, Cotter. I was about to say Brant. Now, you should have at least seen that.
Yes, I'm very well aware of the Sweat Hogs. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. My dad actually went to the school that they were depicting.
Oh, really?
Where the intro was? Yeah. And he was a Sweat Hog. That's about all I know about my dad, so let's move on.
Oh, shoot. All right.
That's just because my mom told me.
Moving on. I know you want to talk about these Minecraft, so let's talk about these and get them out of the way.
Oh! Okay!
I'm joking.
Get them out of the way!
I'm joking. Just getting a rise out of you. Why'd you go quiet?
I didn't go quiet.
You're not saying anything.
Oh, well, excuse me. I thought you wanted to talk about it. You brought him up.
You're the one that wanted to talk about it. That's why I brought him up.
Well, fine. I'll talk about them then. Jeez.
Oh,
Minecraft release.
See what I do with your name?
You don't deal with nothing. You love dealing with me or else you wouldn't want to be on so many shows with me. Like a drug, once you start, you can't stop.
It's an addiction. I'll give you that.
Okay, there you go. But I'm legal.
Oh, Lord. Let's talk about the Minecraft.
They're 3-inch figures. They're brought out by Jazzware Incorporated. I saw a few of them in Toys R Us. A few of them actually showed up in my local Walgreens. The two that we have here are the Creeper, which comes with a TNT block, and it's not showing it. What are you laughing at?
I don't know. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, fine. And, are you done?
I'm done.
He muted himself. Fine. And a gunpowder, what do you call it? The gunpowder, symbol. And then you have an Enderman with, a block of dirt and grass. I don't know what else. I think he comes with an ender pearl. And then there's also a zombie and Steve figures. It's basically for hardcore collectors of Minecraft, really. I wouldn't say anything for anybody that doesn't like Minecraft, unless you like the Creeper, because I hear the girls like the Creeper. Okay, whatever. But they're nice little figures. They have minor articulation, but they're pretty nice, especially if you're Minecraft fans.
Yeah, I'd say if you're a Minecraft fan, it'd be neat to have these on your shelf or whatever. But, and I apologize, I had to mute myself because I was starting to choke and I didn't want to cough on air.
I think everybody who likes to create would enjoy Minecraft. It's like Legos, it really is, except it's more interactive and it's a lot of fun. It's Cindy's fault why I got into Minecraft in the first place.
You know, with me, it's not that I'm not interested and don't want to play it. It's just that with any other kind of game, it's the same thing because I know if I start something like that I hear is addictive and stuff, then I'll lose too. I mean, I feel like I'll lose too much time to it, so I just don't get started. I don't have time. Yeah. Gotcha,
Dan. Have you ever seen Minecraft like at all or?
No, it's a foreign concept. I saw pictures of the figures, but I didn't really know anything about them.
Okay. Yeah, Minecraft's a pretty popular game. I think Yogscast actually got popular through YouTube through Minecraft. So, It's a pretty popular game.
It is.
If you like Angry Birds, you'll like Minecraft. It's completely different concepts,
Yeah.
but at the same time, they're computer games that nobody thought was going to go anywhere. Just like the annoying Orange and Fred. But apparently they did.
We don't talk about the annoying Orange.
We don't talk about Fred either, so don't worry.
I try to pretend Fred doesn't exist. I don't know.
He's like the Justin Bieber of YouTube. We don't acknowledge him.
And of Nickelodeon. Or Disney, whichever one he's on.
Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon, yeah.
They lost a lot of credibility with me.
Did you guys see the black and white Sin City figures? Or grayscale, rather.
No, I did not see those.
You didn't see those? They have it's based on the movie. They have what's his name?
Marv?
Yeah.
Marv?
Yeah, Marv and Jessica Alba's character, Nancy, and Hartigan. And they're all kind of modeled after the not full on likenesses, but they're kind of modeled after the actors that play them too. So.
See, they had already put out like ones that were based on the comic book version, and I had gotten Marv. I know they also put out a Marv who is sitting in the electric chair. I didn't go with that one, but I do have like the regular Marv that was a grayscale as well, but based on the comic version.
Yeah, gotcha. These look pretty cool. I mean, I kind of like the movie. I don't know. I've never read the comic though, so I don't know.
The comic is great, and I enjoyed the movie as well.
Yeah.
I'm
looking forward to the sequel. Yeah. So it was pretty faithful to the book. Yeah.
No, Miller was on hand to make sure of that. Same thing with 300. Both of those were pretty faithful adaptations.
Gotcha. Cool.
But what happened with that Spirit movie, I'll never know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's skewed.
What happened with it with Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah, I have that I got a Blu-ray pack of like 6 or 7 superhero movies in one. It has Kick-Ass, The Spirit, the latest Conan movie, The Crow, and I think that's it. I think it's a 4-pack or a 5. I don't remember. There is a 5th one, I believe. I don't have the 5th one off the top of my head. I can't remember.
Well, some of those are good.
Punisher. I think it was Punisher.
The newest one?
No. The
Dolph Lundgren one?
No.
Okay.
The one that, not War, Punisher Warzone, the one before that.
Okay,
Thomas
Jane?
Jane.
Yeah.
Yes.
I actually like that one. I know a lot of people are kind of not crazy about it.
I liked it. I like Thomas Jane as Punisher. He works as a Punisher.
I haven't seen the movie. I think I have it on DVD. I was at a comic convention one time. They had the Adam West Batmobile there. I wanted to get a picture. They would take your picture with it, but they said you could take a picture with your own camera. So, I was there alone. I said to the guy behind me on the line, "Can you take a few pictures?" He's like, "Sure." Very friendly guy. And then afterwards, I got out of the Batmobile, and the owner of the Batmobile was very excited to get pictures of this guy in the Batmobile, because apparently that was Thomas Jane.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
Just standing in line to get his picture taken in the Batmobile,
That's awesome.
I never saw the movie. How would I know?
Yeah. That's pretty cool. It's always...
a very friendly guy, though,
Is he?
Took the pictures, with a smile on his face. He was very friendly.
Nice. Awesome. I don't know if you guys saw this, and not to sidetrack on movies here, but a while, I don't know if it was a year or two ago, he actually did a short and put it up online.
Yeah, I shared it with you.
Yeah, okay. Dirty Laundry or whatever it was, yeah. And it was kind of like his way of pitching doing a Punisher sequel, kind of.
Yeah, the people in the audience that saw that were like screaming, because I know that they played it in front of an audience, and they were like, yes. A few people were screaming, yes.
Yeah. So, Too bad Marvel won't listen.
Marvel and DC don't listen to anybody when it comes to their movies. They just do whatever they want. That's why Superman versus Superman Batman.
We're not getting into that.
Okay, fine. We won't get into that.
I told you it's going to take over.
Crash and burn.
Well, we'll save that for another podcast because it's going to.
Okay, we'll save that for the related recap for all I care. It's going to happen.
Yeah, it'll happen. We'll probably talk about it on the live show anyway.
Yeah, that or Brant's going to put me on this week's Zone 4, and we're going to talk about that for a while.
No, you're not on this week.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see how it is.
You might be on the following week, but yeah. No.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See how it is.
I might recast this show with Dan. I'm just kidding.
Oh, see how it is now.
All right, so...
Wookiees.
Huh?
Wookiees.
Yeah.
Lots of them.
Mm-hmm. New comic day joke, folks. Never gets old except it.
I was just going to say that. It never gets old.
All right. So, anything else you wanted to talk about, Chris?
There was one figure. There were actually two sets of figures. One is the Assassin's Creed 3 and 4 Series 2 set of 3 figures. Mm-hmm. Just for Assassin's Creed fans, I just wanted to throw that out there that they're bringing out another series. And for Predator fans, they're releasing a 7-inch Predator classic video game appearance Predator figure. I went to Toys R Us recently, and apparently Predators has a line, a figure line now. There's like 3 or 4 figures. Mm-hmm. This is going to be like an extra added-on figure from NECA. Okay. And the figure's basically in a blue scale. It looks just like the video game Predator.
Gotcha.
So those are all the only things I wanted to mention. Oh, did you want to mention about the preview exclusive that comes out next week?
Remind me.
Pop Vinyl. Go to look it up. Comes out next week. I'm going to have to announce it.
Yeah, you go ahead, because I don't...
Okay. I want to make sure I have the right... coming out February 5th. It is I want to get down to where it says it. It is a previews exclusive Harley Quinn glow-in-the-dark pop vinyl figure.
Oh, okay. That's the one... Was it you, Dan, that called it a chibi?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to make of.
They do look chibi-ish. Definitely.
I think that's what... Here, I'll share the link in the description. That's, I think, why pop vinyl figures... Funko Pop vinyl figures are super popular. I have one figure from the first wave ever, like the very beginning of the Funko Pop vinyl. Everybody thought, okay, this is going to be something that's going to last for a wave or two, and then it's going to disappear. To date, Funko is still making Pop vinyl figures, and FYI, there's over 1,000, if not more, Pop vinyl figures. They've done movies, TV, superheroes. What else have they done? Vintage.
Weird furry variants. I don't know what's up with those.
Yeah, they've done those. They have San Diego and New York Comic-Con exclusives every single year.
Yeah, they have stuff based on TV shows, too, like Big Bang Theory and stuff like that.
Supernatural just came out last week, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. Disney
line, Pixar line, anything you can imagine is basically Funko.
Mm-hmm.
Eyes at some point or another, whether it be a bobblehead or just a regular figure. Even Star Wars and Star Trek have been Funko Pop vinyl figured. So apparently Pop vinyl is very popular.
Popular? No, sorry.
And as a matter of fact, we are going to start a Funko Pop vinyl series on Comic Frontline. Me, Michael, and maybe somebody else. I don't want to spoil it yet because I still need confirmation. But
did they even have WWE ones? I didn't know that.
Yeah! CM Punk was the newest one.
Wow.
And he already quit the WWE, too.
Yeah.
He'll be back. He's quit WWE how many times now? 3? 4?
I think this is the first real time, though.
No, real time. He's quit before.
Yeah.
He quit with John Cena before.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, their whole line of action figures shrunk down a little bit. I mean, from the original that looks good next to, Marvel Legends and DC Directs, the wrestling figures now are all, a little short compared to all those guys.
Yeah, I saw that in Toys R Us too, Dan. Yeah, you wanted to bring up about the wrestling figures. I saw that they really downscaled them a lot from what they used to be.
Yeah, and I know they're using the computer scanning to make the faces accurate and everything, but I guess the bad paint jobs, kind of dismiss that.
Mm.
Yeah. Did you see, Dan? There's a new they're little tiny figures. They're almost 2 inches tall, and it's for an app. You take them and you put them on your iPod, and they're these tiny little wrestling figures. Some of them come in 2 packs. Some of them come in 1 packs.
I haven't seen those.
Yeah, I did see that.
Okay, as long as you saw it, because I feel like I'm talking, but nobody gets what I'm saying.
No, I understand. Yeah. I haven't seen them, though.
I mean, I was against the 3 3/4 figures, so once you get down to those guys, I mean, I don't want a magnifying glass to look at my figures,
I agree with you.
So
I 100% agree.
How big are the, because I haven't seen them in a while, how big are the current wrestling figures, inch-wise, do you think?
Probably 5.
Oh, really? Wow.
Approximately, yeah.
Because they were around 7, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were a little bigger than Marvel Legends DC Direct. Now they're considerably smaller than them. So, and, again, just more people saving me money.
Yeah.
I'm worried that the more people do that and the more people save money, the business is just gonna crash and burn. I mean, I know for a fact that Toys R Us's and toy companies, or not companies in general, but toy vendors are going out of business because of you got Amazon and everywhere else on the internet where people could buy stuff cheaper. Well, it used to be. Now I notice Toys R Us is getting basically the same prices everywhere else. But beside the point, you have all those other vendors, and then you have kids that just aren't interested in toys anymore, because who's going to pay $25 for a figure? Parents aren't going to do that, and if kids have to wait 2 and 3 weeks before they can get a $25 figure, they're not going to do that. They're going to wait and save $50 and get a video game instead.
Yeah. No, I agree. We've talked about that before, and, like Dan said, he's just, even with us adults, they're causing us to save money because we don't want to pay that either.
Right.
Yeah, well, with $25 Marvel Legends and everything, you can see why Walmart doesn't carry any of that. All Walmart has is 3 3/4 figures, because that's a price point that they can move at $10.
Right.
No one goes to Walmart buying $25 figures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing with Target. They don't really buy too many of the Marvel Legends anymore because of the price tag. Nobody wants them.
Yep.
Just the hardcore collectors, and they get them off of websites.
Right.
I don't know. I just want to know. I mean, I understand we're all adults here in this podcast, and I'm sure there are 90% of the people that listen to us are adults. I just want to know when toys became only for adults, only. I mean, we talk about toys on this show every month now that it's a monthly show until Brant's ready to bring this back to a bi-weekly, but right now monthly works. But anyway, beside the point of talking about semantics, we talk about toys because we want to promote them. We want, this is for people who are looking for stuff for their kids or stuff that they're interested in with. But at the same time, toys are also for kids. That's the main sell. Those are the people that you have to look and focus on. That's your sell. Those are the people you're selling to. When you start selling to the adults and you start raising the price, you're going to lose everybody.
Mm. I think they're just like any other company. They're just out to make money, and it don't matter who their audience is as long as the product sells. So.
Well, Marvel Legends were canceled originally. Mm. They were brought back years later because it was taken over by somebody else. And yay, they're back. We were all happy. I mean, I'm one of the first people that got 90% of the first wave. But at what cost? Now we have to pay $25 a figure. And if you don't get it, if you don't pre-order it, I mean, Dan, I remember us talking about the Puck Marvel Legends line.
Oh yeah,
ridiculously priced.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, my store wanted, I guess, that's 4 figures basically to build a Puck, and you know, they're jumping up on the price with the female figure that had the torso, and it was just, you know, out of control. So, yeah, didn't need it. Didn't need it. I mean, every other figure had been released already. Wolverine got it already. Emma Frost, that's the one that had the torso. She's been released a number of times. It's like, you know, just to spend all that money on all these figures, just to get Puck.
Yeah.
And 2-to-1 Puck will be made at some point, you know.
Yeah, Puck doesn't even complete your Alpha Flight. I mean, they just did Sasquatch, as far as I can recall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did.
If it was that last one that you needed to complete Alpha Flight, then you might have had some more people, like, biting the bullet on it. But,
right.
You know, otherwise,
Yeah. It's a shame.
Yeah.
We talked about price point. I did see that Walmart does have these mashers. I don't know if you saw those Marvel mashers where you can kind of like, I don't know, stick different stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, Walgreens got them. Walgreens got them today also. I saw them. You could you could switch the arms, legs, the torsos, and the heads.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, but you can also put like attachments on the side of the arms and stuff. Like, you know, Chris, you were talking about the kids. I have to imagine, you know, maybe the kids will like it. I mean, for the adult collector, It looks like they got like boils and goiters on them or something. I don't know, because there's all these different protrusions for them to like snap on different parts. So, you know, but keeping in mind that, yeah, kids like Legos and maybe they're trying to hit that market, so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
I saw them today. Yeah, you're right.
Even still, I'm looking up on Hasbro's website, and they're like $20 a piece. And, well, some of them are cheaper. There's like ranges from like $10 to $20. But at least the ones I'm looking at, yeah. It's crazy.
Funkos are very cheap. Also, the ones like what Harley Quinn's an exclusive glow in the dark for next week, and she's $10.99. The most expensive I've seen are ones that are like San Diego and New York Comic Con exclusives. Other than that, if it doesn't have the word exclusive on it, even if it's the very first pop vinyl figure ever, you can get it for under $10.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like I said, those seem to be about the only thing Walmart has beyond like the 3 3/4. And, you know, again, like I was saying at one point, kind of like to rant against the 3 3/4. I mean, when I was a kid, if I can't imagine looking through the eye of a 3 3/4 $6 million man, or watching like the circulation of a 3 3/4 pulsar.
Yep.
I mean, what's a 3 3/4 Stretch Armstrong? We call that a rubber band, you know?
I don't know. That's where I kind of differ, because I love the 3 3/4 G.I. Joe figures, and that's kind of that's where I based all my toy collecting and love for them and everything. But I mean, obviously I have wrestling figures and Transformers and stuff, and they were considerably larger, so I appreciate it all. But I understand your point.
Yeah, well, we all have sentimental value to certain things. Like, I'm exclusively pretty much Marvel Legends, DC Direct, all that scale. But that didn't stop me from dumping some money on the Migos that came out.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it's cool. I mean, those are like... when did the Migos originally come out, Dan?
I think the Migos originally came out in like 72.
Okay.
And they were like made from... Well, Mego actually had started in the 50s, and they had Action Jackson, which was kind of like, I don't know, their answer to a G.I. Joe pretty much. And they kind of, had that, weren't that popular. Once they got the licensing for DC and Marvel, in like 72, then they took off. And, you had play sets and Batmobiles and everything like that, and,
Right. And then they've recently brought them back.
Yeah, they recently brought them back, like a couple years ago with like a retooled body and everything. Kind of looked a bit deformed, if you ask me. So that I didn't need. But now that they got them back to the original body sculpts and whatever, not trying to make them look like muscle men or anything, just like the old school type. I really, just pick up the ones that I had back then.
Gotcha. That's cool. I saw some of the classic ones. I was watching an episode of Comic Book Man on AMC, Kevin Smith's store, and I think somebody brought some in, some of the classic ones in one time. That was interesting.
Yeah, the old ones, it's hard to find them all together because, so many of these decals fell off and everything like that.
Yeah.
They're all cloth costumes, so a lot of them get stained pretty easily.
Sure. And I know, Chris, you wanted to mention the trash bag things because you're doing that series on Frontline now.
Yeah, I started a series called Trash Time with these new figures, or they're blind bags. Me and Mike were hunting the past couple of weeks for the perfect kind of blind bag toy to do for Frontline at least once a week, or see what we can do. And I tried G.I. Joe, and I love the G.I. Joe figures, by the way. I would definitely recommend some G.I. Joe blind bags. I can't remember the exact title of them. The G.I. Joe Light Force, I believe it was called, Series 1. I showed you a few pictures, Brent. They have, they have tons of Snake Eyes, they have Duke, there's a lot, and there's really no rarity to them. It's just basically, you get a bag, there's 2 figures in a bag, good luck. There's no rarity, they're all basically as common as any other figure. There's no rare, ultra rare, whatever. They're all common. But then I saw this bag, and it said Trash Pack on it, and I'm like, I don't think so. Reminds me of Garbage Pail Kids, and, I mean, the movie was okay, but I never collected anything from them. So I turned it down at first. I went home, did the G.I. Joe bag, and then I went online and I said, I gotta find out what these trash pack things are. I need to know, because there were a lot there, and they were super cheap. The 2 packs for the trash packs were $2.50 at the store, and the G.I. Joe were like $3.99 on sale for $2.99. So I needed to know why they were cheaper than G.I. Joe when their packs were bigger. Mm-hmm. So I went and looked up a few videos on YouTube, and what it is the best way to describe it is a mix between Garbage Pail Kids, Pokemon, and just blind bagness. And I swear, growing up, if I would have known this would have made me money, I would have come up with this myself. Basically, it's these little I would say monsters because they got faces on them, and you get a 2-pack. You get blind packs. They sell them at Toys R Us. Toys R Us has their own section for them, specialized for trash pack, and you can get a blind bag of 2. You can get a set of 5, or you can get a set of 12, and you bring it home, you open it up, and they're all blind bags, by the way. They don't do, okay, we'll show you what you're buying. You literally just take a chance, and for those of you like me who like that whole mystery of, and what am I getting this time? Yeah. So, we got the first 2, we got a couple of Series 4 blind packs that had 2 each. We tried it out, and they're really nice. My brother actually liked it a bit more than me, but I like it as well. So for Mike to like it a bit more than me, that means Mike was super pumped for it and wanted to buy more immediately, whereas I was pumped for it, but I could live with, getting it once a week or whatever to do a video. But they're nice. Actually, they're very nice figures, and I found out later on that they're very popular right now with the kids. And they're really nice. They're unique. They do have very nice detail on them. The Series 4 ones, there are biters. There are sand trash. Like, for example, they're soft plastic. They're squishable plastic. But, for example, I got an ultra rare today in my blind pack. I don't want to say what it is because then you're not going to want to watch the video next week. But I finally got my hands on a sand trash one. And it's not just like a regular standard plastic one with just it makes it look like it's from the sand. No, they actually have grains in it that when you pick it up and when you touch it, you feel like it was on the beach. And it attracted sand to it. So these people really go out of their way to give you, or give the kids, a really nice detailed product. And each wave has about 100 figures. Target has an exclusive Ghost series, which has, I believe, about 40 or 50 exclusive trashies, as they're called, which are basically these little minifigures. They got so popular, there are play sets. There's a 3DS game for Trash Pack. There's even a cartoon.
Wow.
Yeah, it's on the website.
Yeah.
If you go on trashpack.com, you can watch the cartoon on there. So apparently this product is very popular. It comes out of Moose Toys, actually. It's moosetoys.com.au, because it's an Australian company. And who knew? But each series has a different container and a different amount of trashies. And they're unique. They have minis. They have glow-in-the-darks. It's very unique. It's interesting, and it's funny because it's all based off of trash.
Yeah, that's the thing that baffles me. Like, you're basically encouraging kids to play with trash. All right, that's different.
That's what I said when I first got the first set.
Yeah.
We did the opening, and it was fun. You know, it was really, really fun. It was energetic. Like, okay, what are we gonna get? Are we gonna get a rare? Are we gonna get like a super rare, a limited edition? We're gonna get something with from the beach. Are we gonna get the glow in the dark? And you know that it's very hard to get that, because the only time I felt that way was with HeroClix.
Okay.
And the recent HeroClix one, by the way, the Iron Man one, is really nice. But I know if I buy one, I'm gonna have to buy like 12 more, because it has all the Mandarin rings, and everybody knows how I am with props. So I'm not gonna buy the first one, so I don't have to worry about buying the second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth one. But the trash packs are really interesting. If anything, I'm not a 5-year-old kid. I'm not going to buy it to play with them. For sheer opening, for video value, it's fun enough that it's worth it. And if you are an adult and you have kids from the age of 5 and up, I would highly recommend checking this toy line out. It's inexpensive. The kids love it. There's tons of play sets for it. And they're not dangerous. They're really soft toys.
Cool.
I don't know. I know, Brant, you watched the opening of the Trash Pack. Dan, did you see it? The one that me and Mike did this week?
No, I didn't see that one yet.
Okay. If you get a chance, you should check it out. They're interesting. I mean, I'm not saying that you and Brant should go out and buy them and collect them, but it's interesting. That's the best word to put it as. And if I could bring to our viewers the blind bags and show off all the figures that they have, it would be my pleasure, because it's fun. It's just a fun opening, and it's inexpensive. It really is.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, hey.
It's hard to say I'm not an immature adult, but at the same time, it's like I am saying it without saying it, because it's fun to open, it's fun to reveal, but yeah, it's for the kids mostly.
Yeah, I get that though. I love the mystery, grab bag, blind bag kind of aspect of it. So that's cool.
Yeah, well, it's like those wacky packages. It reminds me of a bit, and you never knew what you were going to get in a package of those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's kind of like going back to a simpler thing, like they used to have the muscles when I was a kid, and they wouldn't be in a blind bag, but it'd be like in a gumball machine, so you never know what you're going to get out of that. So that's kind of cool.
So it's interesting. I would highly recommend it for kids. That's basically what I would say. However, I'm still going to be doing it on Comic Frontline, because it's just too much fun. It's really fun. I see a lot of adults do it online also, because they have fun opening them, and then they give them away or they donate them. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be saving these for my son when he gets older. I'll bag them, make sure they're safe, and he'll have some nice toys when he gets older, in about 4 years. So I'm going to make sure those bags are airtight. So this way, if Trash Packs make it to Series 50 and they're still going, I can say, son, you got collector's items. Here's Series 4.
Nice. Cool.
I'm sure you'll put a link in the show notes to trashpacks.com.
Oh, sure, yeah. And your video as well, if I remember.
Thank you.
Yeah. So. All right, Dan, I know you mentioned before we started recording that you had the latest issue of Diamond's Previews catalog. Have you noticed anything in there that caught your eye?
Yeah, there were a couple things. Basically they have toys all in the back, but there is a section right after the DC Comics that has like DC Comics, previews, DC Direct. They do have a Power Girl and Huntress 2-pack, kind of riffing on the new World's Finest comic.
Okay.
And,
wow.
For that, yeah. I mean, they have this Deluxe Clayface that's $100, kind of like that Deluxe Darkseid that had come out a while back.
I remember hearing of that. Yeah, they have like different heads and different arm sculpts that you could put onto the figure.
Yeah, I mean, the one they showed on the picture, the head kind of looks like a skull, and sticking out of him. Maybe we'd like this as Superman fans because it looks like the Fortress of Solitude is sticking out of his back. I don't know. Like
yeah.
Or something.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. It was an interesting figure, but I'm not paying $100 for it, that's for sure.
It doesn't look like the Clayface I know, so easy pass for me as well.
Gotcha.
They do have like a Red Hood and the Outlaws. They got Starfire, Arsenal, and the Red Hood coming out.
Individually or as a 3-pack?
Those are sold separately, so...
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm probably going to get Red Hood.
If it's the Red Hood I'm thinking of, I think I saw that one. It looks really cool.
Yeah, and they also have a Batman utility belt.
Mm-hmm.
I think they put one out already that kind of looks like the comic one. This one looks a bit more like Dark Knight Returns, where it has like kind of yellowish tan pockets and pouches and like a gold belt buckle.
How much is it, Dan?
$300.
Wow.
Never mind. I was going to say I might get it, but never mind.
Well, I sent you that link to, they actually had it at Maddie's toy store, where they had like, an Adam West one. And I did get that in the mail, and that really is a really great piece. So, yeah, I'd say it's a bit more affordable. And if you're a fan of the TV show, being based on that, to me it is a more attractive type of utility belt to buy.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, so Dan, we've been talking for a while, and I mentioned a couple times we wanted to talk to you about your collection. I know you said, you kind of mentioned the kind of things that you tend to collect. Having seen some of the pictures on your Facebook page and stuff, first of all, I'm envious. But you got some cool stuff. Anything you want to talk about as far as your collection goes, or just give us kind of an overview of what all you have?
Well, yeah, the action figures. I guess the bulk of it being, the 6 and 7 inch action figures being Marvel Legends, DC Direct. I mean, up until a certain point, I was almost a completist on that. And then there had been some website exclusives where, like they would put the Legion in a clubhouse and you'd have them all, in separate little boxes that were part of like a display. Or you'd have to sometimes they were San Diego exclusives, like they had the Wonder Twins with Gleek, and you had to, I mean, as collectors, I'm sure you guys agree, some of the enjoyment of it is the hunt,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, not just jumping on eBay and getting ripped off by some, second-hand seller or something, going out there and seeing what you could find and, what you really love on your own. Statues is another thing I've been big on. And again, some of the earlier ones with Bowen. I know that, like Jerry Seinfeld's Superman, started getting more rare, I guess, as time went on. So, I was happy to get in on the ground floor with the Bowens. Never big on the bust, really. Sometimes I would get a bust like, they didn't have a Doc Samson statue for a long time, so I had gotten the bust. Some independent character like Mr. Monster, they had a bust of, so I was down for that. But generally speaking, with bust, I always figure that maybe it only makes sense for the Vision because he can go through like the floor or something. Otherwise, it's some victim of being chopped up in half or something. I don't know.
Yep.
Looks to me like, what happened to Captain America? Someone chopped off his arms.
Yeah, exactly. I've never been crazy about the bust for that same reason. Yeah.
The only busts I like to actually are the ones that actually include the arms, and they just cut it off from the waist down.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good. Like, like I said, I don't have a lot of them, but sometimes the character is right, and then I just, go for that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I guess I've accumulated a good amount of Batmobiles. I mean, they have right now this whole series of Batman Automobilia or whatever, where they're putting out almost every Batmobile. Like, if it appeared in one episode of one issue of Detectives, number 258 or whatever, some artist drew it a little funky. They put that as a figure, and I like the iconic ones, but I don't need every Batmobile that ever appeared on any comic page.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite Batmobile? The TV one?
Yeah, it has to be the TV one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sentimental reasons.
Sure.
But when I was a kid, Corgi put that out, and there was a Corgi that I was more enthusiastic than that Batmobile, and that was, Chris might appreciate this, the Supermobile.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of hokey for some Superman fans, as, why would Superman need to fly around in a little rocket when he could fly around himself? But, writers could always work it out somehow that either there was some red sun going on or some kryptonite-laden environment where, Superman would need to hop in this thing and the lead shielding would protect him and he would still have superpowers in that Supermobile.
Yeah, I remember those.
Cool.
My favorite Batmobile, though, would have to be the Michael Keaton one, the first movie.
Well, it makes sense. Your age and everything, yeah.
Oh, my age. Thank you, Brant.
Well, no, I'm just saying,
I'm just busting your chops now.
Yeah, that's the one that would connect with you.
It was always at Six Flags. Every time we went to Six Flags, they had it on display, so, yeah.
I just saw a reproduction of that on that Porn Star show where someone brought in one that they had customized and made themselves. And, the Porn Star guys didn't buy it, but Chum Lee went for a nice ride in it at the end of the episode.
Nice.
Wasn't that on Drew Carey also, that Batmobile?
It might have been, yeah.
I'm not sure.
I think it was in the Arthur remake also, with that Russell Brand. I think he was driving that type of Batmobile.
Yeah, I try to avoid everything with Russell Brand.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big fan either, but I checked out Arthur.
Gotcha. Cool. I think on again referencing Comic Book Men, somebody on one episode of that, somebody came up with the TV version and let them take his first spin. So that's always fun. Like you, Dan, I got my picture taken in one. I think it's my Google Plus background actually. It was they had it at Mid-Ohio Con one year.
Yeah, I have seen, I guess there's a number of them. I saw one time in a supermarket parking lot, someone had a trailer. I thought it was probably a horse in the trailer, But when I went up to it, it was one of those, Adam West Batmobiles.
It's funny. There's this totally unrelated, but it made me think of something, Dan. There's this wrestling podcast I listen to called Smart Wrestling Fan. And one of the hosts, he says there's this abandoned WWE truck about 5 miles from his house, I guess because the weather got bad. And he lives in Ohio, actually. And he keeps joking that he's going to go, explore it or, hide in it and maybe find his way to WrestleMania or something.
Yeah, you never know. That could be, gotta hope that George the Animal Steel isn't sleeping in there or something, though.
Right, yeah. Oh, shoot. All right.
They actually have, a TV show, I guess, with some of the old wrestlers are going to be all living in a house together, kind of like the real world.
Yeah, Legends House, I think it's called. Yeah, I think Mean Gene Okerlund's part of that, too.
That's not going to go so well.
It's going to be interesting.
I think one of those guys might be Hillbilly Jim.
It might be, yeah. I don't know. There was one episode of Hogan Knows Best when that reality show was on that he had a bunch of people over like Hacksaw Jim Duggan and stuff. That was a scary sight to see them all at a barbecue by the pool. It was just weird.
Yeah, they were all jumping in the pool, and his wife got home, and she was mad about it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he had the Nasty Boys and WCW guys.
Right.
Yeah. Well, Knobs was on that show quite a bit.
Mhm. Yeah, unfortunately. Yes, Chris, wrestling.
I like wrestling. Not anymore, but back in the day, I loved WCW.
Yeah.
And then Vince ruined it.
Well, I mean, it was going to sell either way, whether it was Vince that bought it or not.
Yeah, exactly. Ted Turner didn't want to do it anymore, jerk.
Yeah, well, they still have, Impact Wrestling now, so
yeah.
It always lives on in one form or another. I mean, I don't know. It might have just been a rumor. The same day I heard about CM Punk, I heard that supposedly WWE was signing on Sting.
Yeah, because Sting was released from TNA.
Yeah, I think they might be building up to a Hall of Fame thing for him, either this year or next year. In the WWE.
See, the weird part is that Sting lost in his contract in a match, so it just seems like that was like a gimmick. Like
yeah.
He just lost it in a match. I think maybe, I don't know if it was just like rumors started flying around where people got confused,
Yeah, they've been talking about Sting coming to WWE for like 2 or 3 years now. Or actually really pretty much since WCW ended, but for whatever reason he hasn't done it. So I don't know. That's why I said I'll believe it when I see it.
All I know is people celebrated when Hulk Hogan quit TNA.
Well, yeah. I mean, Hulk Hogan is...
He made his own porn.
Hulk Hogan is not the Hulk Hogan everyone remembers, either from early WWF or from WCW, so... Not quite the same man anymore. Or he is, and we just didn't know it then, rather. So...
That's a better way to put it.
All those surgeries, he really can't perform anymore.
Right. Oh, yeah. 8 back surgeries he's had? Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Did you hear that, Dan, last Wrestling Sidetrack, and we'll get back on track or whatever, or start to wrap up, actually. Did you hear that Jeff Jarrett is actually starting another wrestling company now?
Oh, get lost.
Yeah. Yeah, I hadn't heard that, but yeah, it makes sense. He has a blueprint, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, since he's done with TNA and they've kind of taken that in a completely different direction, I think he's involving Toby Keith, the country singer, in it somehow. That doesn't give high hopes, but whatever.
Well, Hogan had taken over a promotion at one point. I don't know if you saw the TV show, the midget wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yep.
I forgot about that.
And he also had celebrity wrestling, where Todd Bridges, and again, I think our pal Screech was on that one also.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, that didn't last long.
Chris Jericho has his own YouTube show.
Yeah.
Brant loved the episode I shared with him.
No. He shows me one episode and there's this naked guy walking around. I'm like, what?
And Jericho danced with him?
No, Jericho actually was in a maid's outfit by the end of the episode.
He slept on Jericho's couch completely naked and left a streak. That was the whole thing about it.
And Chris Jericho had to stay cool or else he'd have to end up putting on a maid's outfit and taking them out to eat for a week.
That sounds like one bizarre show.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there were there's been several since, and whatever happened to the Chris Jericho I knew.
Alright, so we should probably start wrapping up here.
Yeah, because we're going into wrestling now.
We've been into wrestling for a while, Chris.
Yeah.
It was related. We talked wrestling toys, so it all comes together.
Exactly.
But
well, I do have one last thing to say that I will be doing a signing at Collector's Kingdom in Huntington, New York. And if you want to talk about toys, they are like stocked to the ceiling with toys, action figures, statues. It's like crazy. So I'll be doing a signing there for Argo Comics at March 19th.
Okay.
Ooh, awesome. Hey, I actually have a question, Dan. When are you going to make an Argo 5 figure line?
Well, there was a point where I was doing customizing. So, those prototypes have been made. Whether or not I'll get into actual production on them is a whole nother thing. But, it's something on the to-do list.
You got to let Mike and I know if you do that with Argo 5.
Yeah, I'll have to post up some pictures of the customs that I have.
Cool.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, very cool. All right, so
that would be an awesome. Sorry for interrupting you, Brad, but that would be an awesome team superhero set.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially after reading it for so long, Mike and I would love to have figures like that.
Yeah,
I'm done now. Go ahead.
It's like, we'll see. But,
yeah, I'd like to.
Yeah, definitely. I'd like to eventually do Wannabe's figures, but I got to get more of that series out before I can even think about that.
I would like to get one written series out first, then we'll talk figures later.
Yeah. Before we do plugs and announcements and all that stuff, we are going to do our And Action Figure segment.
And Action Figure!
Chris and I do have picks this week.
Yep.
So, Chris, you want to go first?
My pick is the Casey Jones Series 2 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figure. It's the reimagined version of Casey Jones for the new Nickelodeon cartoon. I love Casey Jones. He's one of my favorite characters outside of the Turtles. This figure is awesome. I'm not too much of a fan since Casey Jones is younger. He has that missing two front teeth thing going on because he's a hockey player. Ha for the pun there. But apparently he has a new type of hockey mask. It looks more like a skull now. And then underneath that, he actually has face paint on. So he doesn't only have the mask now, but when he loses the mask, he still has like a war paint kind of look to himself.
Okay.
Underneath the hockey mask. And it's depicted in this figure. Figure comes with, of course, accessories like the hockey stick, the baseball bat, of course. And it's just a beautiful looking figure. Cool. And I don't know, he has a new saying, or he screams out "Chikala Shishvar" or something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
It's not Cowabunga though, and that's what pisses me off. They gave him a completely new quote to scream to, and I don't like that. Hopefully it changes.
All right, so my pick, and Dan probably won't like this because they're 3 3/4 inch figures, but are the Injustice Batman and Joker 3.75 2-pack. And I don't know, I like the size, and I love the Injustice design and the comic and the game and everything. So these look pretty cool, nicely articulated, sleek, nice design. So that would be my pick.
Yay!
Yeah. And Dan, I know we didn't talk about this before, but if you want to, you can off the cuff come up with a and action figure pick if you want to, or you can skip it.
My action figure pick of the week is going to be the NECA Michael Keaton Batman.
There you go.
That I picked up.
Yes.
Awesome. So some cool looking figures there. Of course, we'll have photos definitely of all three of those picks in the show notes for you to check out. But that is going to wrap up episode 15, special all-toy edition of Hall of Toys with special guest Dan Sehn. And I should mention also, real quick, for anybody wondering, because last episode we had Lisa on, we announced she was going to be the new co-host on the 250th episode of Zone 4. She had previous engagements this time, so she gave us the blessing to go on without her. She will be back next episode, though. So
Yes.
But we are glad to have you, Dan. Thanks for coming on. Always a pleasure to talk to you.
Hope you come on again soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Really fun time.
Awesome. And is there anything else you want to plug besides the signing?
Well, yeah, once again, the signing is March 19th, Huntington, New York. That's Collector's Kingdom. Of course, Argo Comics, which are the comics I publish, and you can check that out at argocomics.com, ARGO comics.com, and that about does it.
Okay, cool. Awesome. And again, those links will be in the show notes as well. And Chris?
As always, Comic Frontline is coming. February 11, 2014. Myself, Brant, and Dan are going to be our basic members of Comic Frontline. We're going to be doing heavy work on Comic Frontline. We're going to be bringing you comics. That's the heart and soul of Comic Frontline. But after that, we've got toys. We've got video games. We've got reviews of movies, TV. Tons of stuff is on the way. We got tons of interviews that are going to be coming launch week and beyond launch week. We've got podcasts that we're going to be doing on there. Not really podcasts, more along the lines of half-hour panels where we're going to be talking about specific series of comics. We're going to have lots of stuff, and I'm looking forward to what everybody's going to bring to the table. Dan has, I don't know if he wants me, is it okay to announce what you have, Dan, before I announce it?
Sure.
Dan has a camera, so Dan's going to probably be joining us on YouTube as well as on the written part of the site.
Yay.
So yay!
There you go. Watch
Another
out.
member on YouTube.
Oh, you didn't know?
That's my line.
You better tune into Comic Frontline.
Yeah, Comic Frontline is going to be amazing. We've got Frontline news, and as soon as Dan gets used to working the camera, Dan, you're welcome to put skits on with us when we do Frontline news, which is hopefully going to be a once a week or at least once every 2 week show. I'm looking forward to what everybody's going to bring to the table. I'm excited to see Dan being on. This is going to be... Dan, you don't have any videos on YouTube other than the one that you have with the interview, right?
Yeah, no, that was it. I did a little intro video, but I haven't been able to get that onto YouTube yet. But I did an intro video, and yeah, I have that little video from being interviewed as a comic creator at a convention.
So this is an exciting time for me because I love seeing when people start up on YouTube. It's going to be exciting to see Dan on Comic Frontline and how things progress as the year goes on. So much is going on Comic Frontline right now. It's exciting. It's really the feeling is indescribable, but we love what we do and we show it in our work. And Brant has his own comic line. Dan has his own comic line. I write, but I don't have a comic line. I'm sorry, I'm poor. So, there's that. But beside the point, though, we have amazing people on Comic Frontline. Each and every one of the members has something really big and special that they bring to the group. It's awesome to have Dan as well as our other member, John, Comic DC Fam 4.0, who's joining us also on the YouTube channel as well as on the regular website. Dan already has articles on ComicFrontline.com. You guys should check that out as well. And I believe as far as this episode, starting with this episode, since it's the 15th and it's the annual, and basically everybody here is Comic Frontline, this will actually be starting to air on the Comic Frontline channel, right, Brant?
We'll talk about it later.
Okay, so I retract that last announcement just in case I'm wrong.
I'll edit that out if I need to.
Don't edit it out. Let's make it happen for Comic Frontline. Woo!
Oh, shoot.
We have a mug. You like tea, you like coffee, you like hot chocolate, why not drink it in a Frontline mug?
Yeah.
All money goes towards donations to foundations, which will be for the children and animals. I'm making triple sure that that is going to happen this coming year. And the rest of the money goes towards building the website.
Yeah. And, of course, you mentioned comicrelated.com. Check out Comic Related, updating every single day.
I wanted to save that for you, yes. Okay.
Every single day of the year, 365 days a year, multiple updates a day, podcasts, webcomics, reviews, columns, anything you can think of. If it's comic related, you'll find it there. Of course, check out our other show, Zone 4, that airs every Friday on zone4podcast.com and comicrelated.com. And the next episode, which is 255, will be the first episode with Carrie Kelly and Frank Rayner with myself and John, as this kind of classic Zone 4 meets the Raymond Power Hour, looser format, kind of fun show. So be looking forward to that. Of course, if you have any comments, questions, suggestions for us, if you'd like to be a guest on Hall of Toys, you can email us at hot@comicrelated.com.
Donations are welcome.
Always, yeah. If you want to send us a product for review, definitely you can send it through. Send us an email through that same email address for that. And let's see, is there anything else? I think that's it. All the main stuff. Comic Related's convention. What do
coverage?
You call it? Well, not just coverage, but our convention plans and everything. Starting up soon because convention season's almost here. Got a ton of shows.
Feels like it just ended.
I know. It's convention season is expanded. But it kind of starts, some of the conventions start up in February. I think it really gets a kickoff late March, early April. So, we got tons of shows that we're all going to be covering individually and collectively. I'll be set up definitely at Derby City Comic Con and River City Comic Expo Louisville. And other shows are kind of iffy for me right now, but we'll see what happens. So, lots of cool stuff coming up. And I think that's it. So, thanks everybody for listening once again.
And that was to borrow from Dan's book, Argo 5. That was a sweet chain reaction.
There you go. Awesome. Thanks again, Dan.
Oh, thank you.
And we'll definitely have you on again. So until next time, I'm Brant. He's Chris. That's Dan. We're happy to.
That's all, folks.
I don't know why. I forget how we close the show. It's been so long.
We don't close the show that way, but okay, I guess we're going to close it that way now. So
Works for
have
me.
a good night. If you yell at me for having horrible endings on Comic Related on the recap, well, fine. Now this is your turn, buddy. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bacon.
Bye.
This has been a Gonzo Goose production.